I am sitting in my empty apartment, staring at the engagement ring on the table. 3 years ago, I proposed to Stephanie in the park where we had our first date. The happiness I felt that day was indescribable, but now everything has shattered after just one sentence from her. Her question keeps echoing in my mind. "You think you are my only option." Those words cut deeper than any knife. I walked away that night and she laughed. She actually laughed. But what I did next changed everything. What happened after I left that apartment would make her realize just how wrong she was. Before I tell you how this story unfolded, I would love to know where you are watching from. Drop your location in the comments below. If you have ever felt undervalued in a relationship, hit that like button and subscribe, because what comes next will show you why walking away was the best decision I ever made. I met Stephanie at a tech conference in San Francisco 4 years ago. She was working as a marketing coordinator, smart and charming in every way. We connected over our shared passion for technology and startups. The conversation flowed naturally, like we had known each other for years. 6 months into dating, we decided to move in together in Oakland. Those early days felt perfect. We would cook dinner together on weeknights, trying new recipes we found online. Weekend mornings meant sleeping in, then walking to our favorite coffee shop down the street. We talked about our dreams, our future, building something meaningful together. I was working at a small startup back then. The pay was not great, but the potential was there. Stephanie supported me through the long hours and uncertain times. She would tell me that we were building our future together, that the struggle was temporary. I believed her. I believed in us. We would sit on our tiny balcony drinking cheap wine, mapping out where we would be in 5 years. A house in the suburbs maybe. Kids eventually. The whole picture. After 3 years together, things started looking up for me professionally. I got promoted to senior software engineer. The salary bump meant we could finally breathe a little easier financially. I started thinking about the next step, marriage. I had always known Stephanie was the one, so I started saving. I wanted to do it right. I went to 3 different jewelry stores before finding the perfect ring. 2 carats princess, cut exactly what she had pointed out once when we walked past a jewelry store window. It cost me 3 months of salary, but seeing her face light up would be worth every penny. I planned the proposal for Golden Gate Park, the same spot where we had our first official date. I waited for the perfect sunset. The sky turned orange and pink, and I got down on one knee. Stephanie cried. Happy tears, she said. She said yes before I could even finish asking. We held each other as the sun disappeared below the horizon, and I felt like the luckiest man alive. Everything I had worked for, everything I had hoped for, was coming together. Wedding planning started immediately. Stephanie wanted something elegant, sophisticated. We toured venues across Napa Valley before finding the perfect winery. The space could hold 200 guests. The deposit alone was $15,000, but I did not hesitate. This was our day, our beginning. I hired a wedding planner to help coordinate everything. Stephanie got excited about dress shopping, cake tasting, choosing flowers. She would come home with magazines, showing me centerpiece options and color schemes. I loved seeing her so happy, so invested in our future. We set the date for October, just 10 months away. Everything seemed to be falling into place. I paid the venue deposit, booked the photographer, put down money for the caterer. The costs added up quickly, but I was handling it. Stephanie contributed some, though not as much as I did. She said her salary was lower, which I understood. I wanted her to feel like a princess on our wedding day, so I took on the financial burden without complaint. But then June arrived and something shifted. Stephanie started working later hours. She would text me saying she had to stay for an important campaign meeting or a client presentation. I understood. Career growth was important. But the late nights became a pattern. She would come home after midnight, exhausted, barely able to hold a conversation. When I would ask about her day, she would give vague answers. Just work stuff, she would say. You would not understand, it is complicated. I started noticing other changes too. She was always on her phone now. Even during dinner, she would be texting, smiling at her screen. When I asked who she was talking to, she would lock her phone and say it was just work colleagues. But the way she smiled, the little laugh she would give, it did not feel like work communication. It felt like something else. One night I made her favorite dinner. Pan-seared salmon with roasted vegetables, the meal I had cooked on our first anniversary. I had gotten a promotion that day, a big project I had been leading successfully launched. I wanted to celebrate with the woman I loved. I set the table with candles, opened a nice bottle of wine. 7 o'clock passed. Then 8, then 9. She finally walked in at 10:30, looking tired and distracted. "I am not hungry," she said. "I had a late lunch." She went straight to the bedroom. I sat there alone, looking at the cold food, the melted candles, and something inside me cracked. This was not the woman I had proposed to. This was someone distant, someone pulling away. But I convinced myself it was temporary. Wedding, stress, work pressure, it would pass. I just needed to be patient, understanding, supportive. So I cleaned up the dinner, threw away the food, and went to bed next to someone who felt like a stranger. The distance kept growing. Stephanie stopped being present even when she was home. We would sit on the same couch, but she would be in a different world, scrolling through her phone, occasionally typing messages that made her smile. The affection disappeared. No more cuddling during movies. No more morning coffee together before work. She would wake up, check her phone first thing, then rush out the door, claiming she had an early meeting. One Friday night she said she had a team dinner. Work event, mandatory, she would be home late. I told her to have fun even though something felt off. She left around 7, dressed nicer than usual for a work dinner. The perfume she wore was the one I had bought her for her birthday, the expensive one she usually saved for special occasions. After she left, I tried to distract myself with Netflix, but I could not focus. Around 10, I noticed her laptop was still open on the kitchen counter. She must have forgotten it in her rush. I was not planning to snoop. I respected her privacy. But then, a notification popped up on the screen. A message from someone named Marcus. The preview showed enough to make my stomach turn. "Cannot wait to see you tonight," followed by a heart emoji. Then another message. "You looked amazing earlier." My hands started shaking. I did not open the laptop. I did not read through her messages. But I did not need to. The evidence was right there, glowing on the screen. More notifications kept coming. I closed the laptop and walked away, my mind racing. When she came home at 2 in the morning, I pretended to be asleep. She smelled like cologne, masculine and unfamiliar. Her makeup was smudged. She quietly got into bed, and I lay there in the dark next to the woman I was supposed to marry in 4 months, feeling completely alone. The next week was torture. I watched her more carefully now. She took her phone everywhere, even to the bathroom. I noticed she had changed her passcode. It used to be my birthday. Now it was something else. She would angle her screen away when texting, being careful I could not see. The woman who used to share everything with me now guarded her phone like it contained state secrets. One night she fell asleep on the couch while watching television. Her phone kept buzzing on the coffee table. I glanced at the screen. "Marcus again. Missing you already," the message said. My heart pounded. I could have woken her up right then, demanded answers, but I was afraid. Afraid of what I would find. Afraid of losing her. Afraid of being right. The next morning I decided to ask directly. "Who is Marcus?" I kept my voice calm, non-accusatory. She was pouring coffee and her hand froze. "Why are you asking?" Her tone was defensive immediately. "I saw messages pop up on your laptop," I said. "You left it open." Her face flushed. "You were going through my stuff." "No," I said. "The notifications appeared while I was walking by." She slammed the coffee mug down. "He is just a coworker, Roland." "Why are you being paranoid?" She turned it around on me, made me feel like I was the problem. "You do not trust me." After 4 years together, I found myself apologizing. "I am sorry, I am confused. You have been distant lately." She softened slightly. "I am stressed with work. This campaign is huge. I need you to trust me." I nodded, wanting to believe her. But the doubt had taken root, growing like poison in my chest. After that confrontation, she became more careful. Messages disappeared quickly. She would delete conversations. No more notifications left visible. But the behavior continued. Late nights, vague explanations, emotional distance. I tried to bring up the wedding, hoping it would reconnect us. We needed to finalize the seating chart, confirm the menu selections, decide on the music playlist. But every time I brought it up, she seemed disinterested. "You decide," she would say. "I trust you." But this was supposed to be our wedding, not just mine. I wanted her input, her excitement. When I pushed back, she would get irritated. "I am stressed enough with work, Roland. Can you just handle it?" So I did. I handled everything alone. The invitations, the decorations, the timeline for the day. Friends would ask me about Stephanie, why they had not seen her at any of the planning meetings. I made excuses. She has a big project at work. She trusts me to handle the details. But inside, I felt like I was planning a wedding by myself. 2 months before the wedding date, the wedding planner called about the final payment. $12,000 due to secure everything. I checked my bank account and winced. The wedding expenses had drained my savings significantly. I had put down deposits, paid vendors, covered costs that we had originally agreed to split. I mentioned it to Stephanie that evening. "Hey, the final wedding payment is due. Can you transfer your half?" She barely looked up from her phone. "Yeah, sure. I will do it tomorrow." But tomorrow came and went. The money never appeared. When I asked again a week later, she got defensive. "I am a little tight on cash right now. Can you cover it? I will pay you back." I covered it. What choice did I have? Everything came crashing down on a Wednesday evening. I had a meeting that got canceled last minute, so I came home 2 hours earlier than usual. As I unlocked the apartment door, I heard Stephanie talking on the phone in the bedroom. The door was closed. Her voice carried through, sweet and flirtatious in a way she had not spoken to me in months. "I cannot wait either," she was saying. Then she laughed, that genuine laugh I used to love. "No, he does not suspect anything." I stood frozen in the hallway. My heart hammered against my ribs. She continued talking. "Just a few more months, then I will figure it out. Yes, the wedding is still on, but—" She trailed off and I heard her moving around the room. I had heard enough. I pushed the bedroom door open. She was standing by the window, phone pressed to her ear, and she jumped when she saw me. "Roland, I did not know you were home," she quickly said into the phone. "I have to go," and ended the call. "Who were you talking to?" My voice was steady despite the rage building inside me. "Just a friend," she said too quickly. "A friend you are hiding from me, a friend you discuss our wedding with." She put her phone in her pocket, crossing her arms defensively. "You are being paranoid again. This needs to stop." I took a step closer. "Show me your phone." Her eyes widened. "What? No. This is invasion of privacy. We are about to get married, Stephanie. There should be no secrets between us." She shook her head, backing away slightly. "You are being controlling. I need my own space." "Space," I repeated, my voice rising now. "Or space for someone else." Her face changed then. The defensive posture melted into something colder, harder. "You know what, Roland? Maybe this is a mistake." The words hit me like a physical blow. "What do you mean? Maybe we are rushing into this. Maybe I am not ready for marriage. Is there someone else?" The question hung in the air between us. She paused, and in that pause I saw the truth. Then she did something I will never forget. She smirked. "You think you are my only option?" Those 6 words destroyed me. I stood there, staring at the woman I had loved for 4 years, the woman I had spent thousands of dollars on for a wedding, the woman I had built my future around. And she looked at me like I was nothing, like I was disposable. "I could have anyone I want," she continued, her voice dripping with condescension. "You should be grateful I said yes to you." Something inside me snapped, not into anger but into clarity. I saw her clearly for the first time in months. This was not love. This was not partnership. This was someone who had been using me, playing me, keeping me as a backup while she explored other options. I looked at her, really looked at her, and felt nothing but pity. "You are right," I said quietly. "You do have options, and so do I." She scoffed, tossing her hair back. "What are you going to do? Walk away? You have invested everything in this wedding. You have spent thousands. You are not going anywhere." I reached down and slowly pulled the engagement ring off my finger. The metal felt heavy, weighted with broken promises and shattered dreams. I placed it carefully on the dresser between us. "Money can be lost," I said, meeting her eyes, "but I will not lose my dignity." Her smirk faltered slightly. "You are being dramatic. You will come back. You always do." I did not respond. I walked to the closet and pulled out my backpack. I started packing clothes, moving mechanically. T-shirts, jeans, toiletries. She stood there watching me, arms still crossed, that confident smirk returning. "You will regret this," she called out as I zipped the bag. "Nobody else will want you." I stopped at the bedroom door and looked back at her one last time. The woman I had planned to spend my life with. The woman who had just shown me exactly how little I meant to her. I did not say anything. There was nothing left to say. I walked out of that bedroom, out of that apartment, and I did not look back. Behind me I heard her laugh. Actually laugh. Like this was all some joke. Like I was pathetic for leaving. I drove to my best friend Kyle's house. It was almost midnight when I knocked on his door. He opened it in his pajamas, took one look at my face, and pulled me inside. "What happened, man?" I told him everything. The messages, the phone call, her words. "You think you are my only option," Kyle looked furious. "I am so sorry, Roland. But you did the right thing." Walking away took guts. I did not cry. I just felt numb, empty, like someone had hollowed me out and left nothing behind. The next morning I called the wedding planner. "I need to cancel everything." There was a long pause. "Everything. The venue, the caterer, the photographer, all of it." "Yes," I said. "All of it." She went through the numbers. Most deposits were non-refundable. I would lose about $25,000 total. My life savings, essentially. But as I hung up the phone, I felt lighter than I had in months. Better to lose money than to marry the wrong person. Better to be broke than to be broken. Stephanie did not call, did not text, not even to apologize or ask if we could talk. Radio silence. A week later, I was scrolling through social media and saw her Instagram. She had posted a photo with a guy, tall, wearing an expensive suit arm around her shoulders. The caption read, "New beginnings," with a heart emoji. I clicked on the tagged profile. Marcus Chen. Of course, the man she had been talking to all along, the man she chose over me. I closed the app and deleted it from my phone. That chapter was over. The first week after the breakup was the hardest. I would wake up reaching for someone who was not there. I could not sleep, could not eat. Every song on the radio reminded me of her. Every couple I saw walking down the street felt like a knife twisting. I questioned everything. Was I not good enough? Should I have fought harder? Did I give up too easily? The doubt was suffocating. But then something shifted. I was lying awake at 3 a.m, replaying her words for the 100th time. "You think you are my only option." And I realized something. She was right. I was not her only option, but she was not mine either. I had been so focused on making her happy, on being enough for her, that I had forgotten about myself. I had poured everything into a relationship with someone who did not value me. That ended now. I started channeling the pain into something productive. I threw myself into work with new intensity. When the CEO announced a challenging new project, I volunteered to lead it. My coworkers looked surprised. I had always been competent but never aggressive about advancement. Now I was hungry. I worked late nights, but this time for myself, for my career, not to avoid going home to someone who did not care. I also joined a gym. Every morning at 6, I was there, lifting weights, running on the treadmill, pushing my body until the emotional pain translated into physical exhaustion. The routine helped. The endorphins helped. Slowly, my body started changing. I lost the extra weight I had been carrying. My shoulders broadened. I felt stronger, more capable. The guy looking back at me in the mirror started to look like someone I respected. I joined a local running club too. Sunday morning group runs through the city. I met new people, made new friends, people who did not know anything about Stephanie or the failed engagement, people who just knew me as Roland, the guy who showed up every week and pushed through the miles. We would grab coffee after runs, talk about life, work goals. It felt good to be social again without the weight of a failing relationship crushing me. 3 months after the breakup, something incredible happened at work. I had been leading the new project, implementing an innovative solution to a complex client problem. The approach was risky, unorthodox, but I believed in it. When we presented to the client, they were blown away. Not only did they approve our solution, but they expanded the contract, bringing in significant new revenue for the company. The CEO called me into his office the next day. "Roland, that was impressive work. You have really stepped up these past few months." "I appreciate that, sir. I have been trying to push myself." He leaned back in his chair, studying me. "How would you feel about leading a new team? We are expanding the engineering department, and I want someone innovative at the helm." I was stunned. "You are offering me a management position," he nodded. "Engineering manager. 40% salary increase. New team, new challenges. Are you interested?" I did not hesitate. "Absolutely." We shook hands and I walked out of that office feeling like I was floating. Everything was changing. The promotion meant I could finally move out of Kyle's spare room. I found a new apartment downtown, higher floor, city view, walking distance to work. It was more expensive than the old place, but I could afford it now. I furnished it exactly how I wanted. Modern, clean mine. 6 months after I walked out of Stephanie's life, my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. "Hey, can we talk?" I stared at it for a long moment before the second message came through. "It is Stephanie." I did not respond immediately. I waited a full day, letting her wonder. Finally, she sent another message. "I made a mistake. I miss you. Can we please talk?" Curiosity got the better of me. I agreed to meet at a coffee shop somewhere public and neutral. When I walked in, I almost did not recognize her. She looked tired. Dark circles under her eyes, hair pulled back in a messy ponytail, wearing sweatpants and a hoodie. The confident, polished woman I had known was gone. She stood up when she saw me, trying to smile. "Thanks for meeting me." We sat down and there was an awkward silence. She fidgeted with her coffee cup. "You look good," she finally said. "Really good, thanks." I kept my voice neutral. She took a deep breath. "I do not know where to start. How about the beginning?" I suggested. She nodded, looking down. "Marcus was a mistake. A huge mistake. I found out he was married. Has a wife and 2 kids in San Jose. When I confronted him, he just disappeared. Blocked me on everything." I listened without interrupting. She continued, words spilling out faster now. "And work found out about us. Office relationships are against policy. I got demoted, lost my team, lost my salary bump. I had to move back in with my parents because I could not afford rent. Everything fell apart, Roland. I am sorry. I was so stupid. I took you for granted. I thought I could do better, but I was wrong. Can we start over?" I looked at her across the table. This woman who had laughed when I walked away, who had told me nobody else would want me, who had made me feel worthless. Now she was here asking for another chance. I did not feel angry. I just felt nothing. "Stephanie, I appreciate you being honest, but what we had is gone. Please," she said, tears forming in her eyes. "I know I hurt you, but I have changed. I see what I lost." "You did not just hurt me," I said gently but firmly. "You disrespected me. You made me feel like I was not enough, like I should be grateful you chose me. That kind of damage does not just heal because you changed your mind." Her tears fell freely now. "You are enough, Roland. I see that now. I am glad you do, but I have moved on. I am not the same person who walked out of that apartment 6 months ago, and I am not the same person who would beg for your attention." "Is there someone else?" she asked quietly. I smiled. "There is someone better. Myself." I explained how the past 6 months had taught me to value myself, to not need validation from someone who did not appreciate me. I was not rushing into anything. When the right person came along, I would know. But I was not settling anymore. Not for someone who saw me as an option instead of a priority. She left the coffee shop disappointed but accepting. I watched her go and felt only relief. 2 months later, I met Sarah at a marathon event I was running. She was volunteering at a water station, handing out cups with the biggest smile. I thanked her, and she said good luck with such genuine warmth that I remembered her face. After finishing the race, I found her at the volunteer tent. "Want to grab a post-race coffee?" I asked. She said yes. Sarah was a pediatric nurse, kind, genuine, passionate about helping others. We took things slow, building a friendship first. No rush, no pressure. After a year together, our relationship was everything my engagement to Stephanie was not. Based on mutual respect, honest communication, shared values. Sarah never made me question my worth. She celebrated my successes and supported me through challenges. She was a partner in every sense of the word. Looking back now, I realize that Stephanie asking you think you are my only option was the best thing that could have happened to me. It was cruel cutting designed to make me feel small. But instead it opened my eyes. It forced me to see my own value, to recognize that I deserved better. Walking away from that relationship, from that wedding, from those sunk costs was the bravest thing I had ever done. Sometimes people think revenge means making the other person suffer. But the best revenge is living well. Stephanie wanted me to come crawling back to prove that I needed her more than she needed me. Instead, I proved the opposite. I did not need her at all. I thrived without her. I became successful, happy, healthy, all on my own. That was the real victory. The lesson I learned is simple but powerful. Never stay with someone who makes you feel less than you are. Know your worth, and do not be afraid to walk away when someone does not see it. The right person will never make you question your value. They will add to it, celebrate it, honor it. And if you have to lose money, time, or pride to find that out, it is worth every penny. I am grateful for the pain now because it taught me strength. It taught me that I could survive heartbreak and come out stronger, that I could rebuild my life exactly how I wanted it, that walking away is not giving up. Sometimes the person who walks away is not weak, they are just choosing themselves for once. And that is not cowardice. That is the bravest thing you can do. Have you ever walked away from someone who did not value you? What did you learn from that experience? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear your stories. If this resonated with you, hit that like button and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And do not forget to subscribe for more real-life stories about finding strength in difficult times. Thank you for listening to my journey. Remember, you are worth more than someone's backup plan. You deserve to be someone's first choice. Stay strong, and until next time, keep choosing yourself.